the #1 source for the sports gamer.
Since its inception in NBA 2K, the 2K series popularity has grown each year well beyond just the diehard basketball fans, even eventually overtaking NBA Live along the way. And one would assume that as the game's community has grown and improved, so would the product itself. Now what I'm about to say is not bashing their most recent game, NBA 2K16, but one will hope that every year a new game is released, it will be undoubtedly better than its predecessor. And NBA 2K16 on numerous occasions has had me cussing at the TV for the game being faked and asking myself why I still play the damn thing. Simply put, 2K16 was the first of the series recently where you could argue the previous year's game was better. In reality, only a few things held this game back from being truly great that I hope they can improve on for 2K17. And here's Sports Gamers' NBA 2K17 wishlist. Starting with the simplest of all requests, more historic teams. The transition from 2K15 to 16 included a number of new historical teams that gave a refreshing feeling to quick match and team up players, who were tired of using the same teams with a new year slapped on the front cover. So this was actually something that was handled well in this year's game, therefore do not deviate from the path. 2K has been known over the years to either fix what isn't broken or fix something only to watch it break again because of lack of maintenance. The new teams that were added this year were great, and just as many, if possible, should be added next year's game as well, just so we don't feel as if we're paying for a new game with the same content. This would also help towards a major need for new player content in my team mode. Next, and this may seem trivial to some, but as a YouTube content creator, it can make a world of difference. In Madden specifically, the in-game commentary is, for lack of a better word, Kwame Brown status. NBA analysts are responsible for some of the most memorable, spine-tingling calls of all of sports. We want the announcer to get us hype as we go for a big shot. I guess what I'm getting at is, why isn't this in the game? 2K currently has Kevin Harlan, one of the most prominent voices of the NBA, signed to the brand as an in-game commentator. For the youngin', he's the guy that hit us with the
LeBron James with no regard for human life!
Yeah, him. However, the calls of him and all his in-game contemporaries are so bland and lifeless, it's as if they are truly reading right from the script in front of them. Let them live, bruh. If game commentary was more lively, it wouldn't just make the game more enjoyable. After all, how much of a buzzkill is it to hit a buzzer beater and you just hear, oh, he puts it down? Come on, man, when my 10-year-old cousin gets out that reaction, something's wrong here. Now, as far as gameplay goes, things were fairly solid this year. However, the biggest killer to me was the constant patches to fix what wasn't broken. I can't count how many times 3-point percentages were patched this year. At multiple points, I took breaks from the game just because they unrealistically started going in too much, or didn't go in at all. In my opinion, the game was perfect or day one release. If it was a good shot, it went in. If it wasn't a good shot, it usually missed. Green releases felt rewarding and weren't rare to the point of wondering if you were just bad at someone shooting for them. Furthermore, the defense was locked down. If you were an adept player that knew tendencies of how players played the game, you could guess which way someone was going and clamp them up without being unable to slide laterally quick enough or get a blow-by animation. Yet still, the first gameplay patch came within a month's time and the game hasn't been the same since. Now finally, we reached the miscellaneous section of gameplay. Firstly, the stack distribution, especially in my team, is whack. I still don't understand how Stephen Curry is as fast as Russell Westbrook or as good a defender as Paul George. Or an even better example, how playoff moment cards like Ian Mahinmi are better rebounders than the Dream. There seems to be a little to no logic in some players' stats, and that needs to be more clear and linear reasoning behind players being certain ratings. Secondly, new stats could be introduced to improve gameplay. Two that I've had in mind since last year are explosiveness and first step. A popular exploit in this year's game was speed boosting. It was when a certain dribble animation that allows you to burst at full speed by your defender with no resistance and before they could react. Although it's now been patched, some players still are really about that life. I believe an explosiveness stat could dictate how fast players go from 0 to 100, and the first step could allow the non-athletic great players to still be as effective as they are in real life. Either that or make the quickness stat more prominent in regards to the original point. Also, a small note to be made should be this equalizer or momentum that was incorporated into this year's game. There's a reason all diamond teams in my team are no longer necessary. Once the game shifts, you can start making C-quality shots while your opponent is bricking A's. There should be no reason to baby people who are bad at the game with this feature. Whenever I shoot a shot these days, I'm not even surprised to see a D+ go in. To an extent, 2K16 can be simplified into whoever survives the other person's scripted runs, and something's wrong with that. Denied as they may, we play the game the most, we know how it works. Finally, on-ball defense. Come on, man. We shouldn't even still have to be asking for this. If 2K really wanted to be taken seriously as a possible esports game, on-ball defense need to be mandatory. No more hiding behind the CPU. Just like real life, you need to be able to show that you're good offensively and defensively, or the better all-around player will abuse your weaknesses and win. Simply put, if you bout it, show it, or get exposed. Alright guys, stay tuned for another NBA 2K16 top 10 list soon. Thank you all for watching and be good, y'all. Let's start the vid by admitting this. Every year there's a group of players whose virtual counterparts are given too much credit for what that guy does or did in real life. Some may be actual stars, and others will give you the business all because they're nice at one particular skill. Or they won the genetic lottery. Some call them hidden gems, others call them cheese. We'll call them our top 10 most overrated players in NBA 2K16. Let's begin. Coming in at number 10 on the list is Channing Frye. For as long as I've been playing 2K,